Right, so here's the Propex 2000 that I'm going to be fitting in my van. I was going to be fitting a 1600, which I've got down there, but a friend actually offered me this one when he found out I'd bought that one. So I'm going to be fitting this one just because it's the slightly newer model. I've wired it up here just to give it a test run, just to make sure it's working fine, and also just to show anybody at home who might have just bought one online and isn't sure how to do it, what to do with it, or might be thinking of buying one and just wondering how easy they are to fit. Very easy. As I say, this is just wired up as a test, but it's going to be exactly the same when it gets fitted in the van. You've got your gas intake at the back there. Now that wants to be fed with copper pipe all the way down as close to the gas bottle as possible. All this flexes here is just because this is just set up as a test, just to make sure it's working fine. When it's getting fitted in the van, it's going to have proper copper pipe running all the way through. Now the 2000, thankfully you don't have to start slicing into the cabling like you do on the 1600. The 1600 you need to actually cut the cable that goes to the thermostat in half and then rewire it as and where you want to. The 2000 model actually comes with its own power line that I've just fed down there to a test battery. So just positive and negative off the main lead that goes inside the unit. Now inside there you've got two inserts you need to put on. One's for the thermostat and the other one is just for the power. Those just clip in, and then you've got little rubber grommets that go across, and then the metal flap just clips back over the top there and covers it up in place. A couple of screw holes in the top once it's ready to be fitted, and then that's fine. Now underneath, it's the same on all the Propex units. You don't need to drill two holes into the floor plan of the van, caravan, or whatever it's going to be getting fitted into. Now this one still actually has the exhaust and intake piping still connected to it. So that one's the exhaust and that's the fresh air intake. Now ideally you want those going off to either side of the van or caravan, just so the exhaust isn't sucking the intake fumes. So once you've drilled the holes into wherever it's going to be fitted, you've got your intake and your exhaust going off in alternate directions. You then have intake and exhaust for the actual air circulation. That's the out, that's where all of your warm air or your cold air, if you've got just running the cold fans, will come. And then you've got your intake there. Ideally you want to try and keep the duct in equal length. That's the recommendation from Propex themselves. It just helps keep the current down, keeps the circulation that little bit easier. Now to fire the unit up, once it's all wired up, connected, you've got your gas going off, you've got it wired up to the battery, you've got your thermostat there. If you click it to the right, that's just for cold air. Click it to the left and that is for your heater. Now I'll test the cold air first, because when you use the heater the unit goes into a cool down cycle where it keeps the fans running for a couple of minutes just to make sure all the electronics inside are cooled down sufficiently. So the cold air unit, you just push it to the right. And just as an example, you can see the paper's getting sucked in onto that one and it's getting blown away on there. That's the cold air unit. You can just have that on as long as you want. There's no time limit on that. It'll just keep going until you turn it off or your battery runs out. Obviously you've got your green light on that. Just turn that off. To fire the burner up, you just want to make sure the temperature's set to the highest setting. Click it to the left. The fans will start for about 10-15 seconds and then you should hear a click. The click should ignite the burner and you should hear a change in sound. And that's when the unit will fire up. So I'll just turn the gas bottle on and I'll fire that up. Right, so I'm going to fire the unit up now. As I say, temperature's high, click it to the left. Hear the fan. There's the igniter, and you can hear the change in sound. and now it's going to be starting to kick out nice warm air, and you can hear the burbling coming out of the exhaust, and that's instant warm air coming out of the exhaust, because that's where all of the combustion gases are going. So that's the intake, and you can hear the difference when that's got any obstructions, and that's already starting to warm up and blow out some nice warm air out of the outtake. Once it's ignited, you can then turn the temperature down, and once it reaches the temperature that the thermostat's set at, it should just click off. So like that, it's reached the temperature. So then if I increase it again, it should kick back in. You just hear that clicking back in again because I've increased the temperature. So fully thermostatically controlled heating, really nice and simple, easy to fit, and doesn't really take much space inside the van, caravan, wherever it's going to be fitted either. So there you go, that's the Propex 2000. So if I turn this off, it'll go into a cool down cycle, so the fans will just keep circulating for, I think it's 90 seconds to 2 minutes or so. Then there's the sound change, burners off, and now it's just going to be circulating air just to cool down all the electronics inside. If you're ever unsure of the unit, if you bought one second hand, it's generally got a sticker on the back there, whether it's a 2000, 2000E, 1600, X1, 2, 3, so to speak. You can always check on there, and Propex are very helpful as well. If you do have any issues, just send them an email. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to be fitting in the van. And that 1600 down there is the one I was going to be fitting, but I'm going to be passing on. But if you want to see that one working, have a look on my video, my channel. I've had a video of that up and running, showing how to wire it in, how to connect that working as well. So yeah, I hope you found the video useful. Thanks for watching.